right? We were both in the hospital together. I just said I was done. What the did I do that for? I've cried for days. I went through my emotional roller coaster.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. So I saw this video when I was scrolling in the wonderful world of TikTok, and this, no joke, happened literally right when the app was shutting down. Okay, I saw this and I was like, I'm gonna bring it to you guys to talk about. Next thing you know, poof, vamoose, the app was gone. So we're gonna go ahead and deep dive into this conversation. As we can see, it says, becoming a single baby mama just 3 weeks away from giving birth. I'm gonna go ahead and press play, and I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts, my opinion on this entire conversation.
All right, boom. So, story time on how I became a single baby mama just 3 weeks away from my due date. I tried to post a video earlier, but TikTok was being a hoe. That's why y'all getting banned. Okay, so boom. Me and Pookie, aka baby's dad, we're having a regular day. We was texting. I was at work. He was at work. We was texting. We was like, we can't wait to get home. I'm sick of this fucking place. Yeah, regular. Next to him right before I left work. Like, I was about to leave in like 5 minutes. I texted him that I did need to talk to him about something, but it wasn't anything serious. But I was talk to him when I get home. I'm driving. I have errands to run, but I literally live 10 minutes away. He's a little bit further, but I'm like 10 minutes away. But we get out around the same time. But I told him I would talk to him when we get home. I told him it was nothing serious because, I hate when people do that too. When you tell them you gotta tell them something and I gotta wait till later. Yeah, that sucks. But as long as, it's nothing crazy, nothing serious. Cool.
So before we even continue, I just want to stop right there. If you don't like when people do that to you, why are you doing that to somebody else? Like, before we even get into the depths of this conversation, you just blatantly said that you can't stand when somebody does that to you, but you're doing that to him. So I'm already confused about that. But she said it's nothing serious, so let's go ahead and get into the rest of it.
Right? Wrong. What the did I do that for? This man calls me and tells me, what did you do? I said, huh? What did I do? I just told you it was nothing serious. He is demanding that I tell him now, right away, right now. That's it. He doesn't want to hear anything else. I'm trying to tell him, like, I'm trying to calm him down and ask him why. What's with the attitude? Like, what happened? He was not trying to hear it. He was just like, you need to tell me now. Then, after all that, I'm like, well, now I don't want to talk about it, because why would I want to talk about it with you when you're just yelling at me and it was literally something that's not even that deep?
This is the problem that I have when a lot of these women come onto a platform like TikTok, right? A platform that they know is going to always side with the woman, regardless of if there is adequate amount of information, regardless if there's any detail to the story. Women go on these platforms like TikTok to reveal things about their spouses just to have a campaign of women behind them, again, because they know on said platform there is minimal to no support for men. And one thing that I know to be true is that majority of the time when women tell stories, it is always basically acting as though they're the victim in the situation. Like, I have yet to hear the majority of women tell stories and not act like that they are at fault, or basically portraying themselves to be any kind of problem in the situation. And that's a red flag to me. And the reason why that's a red flag is because why would this man immediately ask, what did you do, unless there was more details to the stories that were missing? Why would this man just get mad and ask you, what did you do in this situation, if there was not any reason for him to behave so?
So basically, this man just keeps cutting me off. He's not letting me talk unless the words that are coming out of my mouth is what I said I was going to talk about. He didn't want to hear that. So I just from freaking stress. Like, I'm literally in the middle of driving also. I just yell. I'm like, why are you like this? Like, what is wrong with you? And that just put it, and I literally said, I need to hang up to cool off. He said, I better not hang up. I didn't. And he proceeds to tell me, I'm not going to wait to get home so you can come up with some bull. I'm like, I'm just sitting there like so confused. I'm literally so confused.
You're not confused. Girl, don't play this game. Okay? Do not play this game. You're not confused. And the reason why I say she's not confused is because she's like acting like the victim right now. I don't understand. Like, and he said, I don't want you to have time to make basically create a false story before you get to me. I want to talk to you now. Which leads me to believe that you have lied to this man before. You've been deceitful in some way, shape, or form before, previously. It's obviously so stressful to him that he's asking you and demanding answers from you at this moment of time because of some type of distress that you put this man to, through the ringer for before within your relationship. There is obviously more details that are making this man riled up than you are leading us on to believe. Because no man that's in a happy relationship with his wife, girlfriend, or baby mama is going to act this way unless he has a reason to act this way. And the fact, again, that you are, unwilling to be forthcoming of any information is major red flags.
And then this man proceeds to hang up on me. Well, after telling me not to hang up, but he hung up on me. I tried to call him back after I calmed down, just like 2 minutes. I tried to call him back. I then realized he has blocked me. He has blocked my number. He blocked me on social media. I am blocked on all social medias. I'm blocked on WhatsApp. Like, I'm blocked on everything. Like, I can't communicate with him at all. So yes, when I found out that he blocked me on absolute everything, and we literally had this conversation before, and I was just in the hospital the day before that for having really bad contractions, right? We were both in the hospital together. I just said I was done because I cannot see myself being with somebody that would think that that's okay, because it's not. Regardless of me, I still am pregnant with your child. And
just let me know in the comment section if this don't make no sense. Okay? If this does not make no sense, just let me know in the comment section. You're in this active relationship with this man. The day prior, the two of you were in the hospital. You were having really bad contractions, and he was there for you, and he was actively supporting you. The next day, y'all are at work, and you decide that you want to tell him something, but you tell him that you need to talk about it when you get home. He tells me, no, I can't take the anticipation. Just tell me now. You decide not to tell him and draw this whole thing out over something that you said was quote unquote not that serious. And you personally decided that it was worth risking your relationship for. It was worth you breaking up the relationship for, rather than you just telling him this. It seems to me like this man thought that possibly this was not his child. Okay? He took it very seriously. As small as you tried to make this situation be, this man obviously did not see it as a small thing and was like, I'm going to show you how serious I am. If you're not going to tell me anything, if you're going to play this game on my phone, I'm going to block you so you can't communicate with me. How about that? And you decided to end the relationship over something that you started. That don't make no sense. Something's not clicking. Something is definitely not clicking.
And I can go into labor at any minute. And if you think I'm about to sit here and go into labor and write you an email to let you know, I'm not. I'm really not. So I let him know that when I got home, because when I got home after finishing running errands, he was there.
Why would you need to write him an email to let him know that you're going into labor if you guys clearly live together, or if he was at your house? I'm not sure the living situation, and you got there and he was there. So him blocking you was saying, don't call my phone unless you're going to tell me the information. And then when you got to each other face to face, the first thing that you said to this man is that the relationship was over, instead of you explaining to him what the actual situation was. That don't make no sense.
And I let him know that when I got home. And other things happened, of course, while we were home, but I'm not gonna get into that. So I will be going into labor by myself, because I did move to this state to be with him, to be with the love of my life. But I'm okay with it. I'm keeping a positive, and he still don't know what the I needed to talk about.
Why is that funny to you that he still doesn't know what the situation was? Why is it funny to you that you risked the whole relationship all over something that was petty? Why is it funny to you that you're going to be going into labor by yourself? Why is it funny to you that you were the cause of the demise of your relationship with your child's father and the separation between the two of you for no reason? Why is that funny? I'd love to know why that's so funny, because I think you're the only one laughing.
Okay, so I'm finna address all this stuff now, because I'm not gonna make y'all wait till tomorrow, because y'all obviously have no patience. The problem is y'all expect somebody, because it's so common that y'all think that, oh, you should know that that's gonna make somebody have anxiety, so you should have just told them on the phone, or you should have just told him when you got home.
Before we get into this explanation, you have the audacity to not want the women on TikTok who viewed your video to have to wait for a follow-up conversation, but you could not offer that same exact care or empathy to your spouse who got you pregnant in the first place with information that you said was not that serious? And you don't see that you could be the problem within the situation? The comment on the screen says, I'm sorry, when someone tells me they have to tell me something and don't tell me, my mind will race. I don't see why you didn't tell him over the phone to ease his mind. So now this is her explanation as to why this man still has no idea of whatever it is that she was supposed to tell him over the phone.
No, Pookie, it don't work like that. If this is something that you express to me beforehand, that is something that triggers you, then cool. I know not to do that. You even hear me say it in the video. I said, wrong. Why did I even do that? Because how the I was supposed to know I was going to get that reaction? We ain't never talked about that before. Everybody is different. I even said in the video, I understand, because I hate when people do that too. But at the end of the day, I can't sit there and make somebody have a conversation with me when it's their conversation to be had.
This is foolish, immature, foolish nonsense. And it's no shade to the person who's doing this, who put this video out there, but I just got to be honest. These are the reasons why I have these conversations, because I think women genuinely need to hear another perspective from other women that is putting the mirror right back at you to say, this does not make any sense. This was very immature. This was very foolish. And it was something that it still is not making any sense. It's still not adding up. He was just in the hospital the night with you before when you were having contractions, and now you're telling him that you have something to tell him and you want to talk about it when you get home. And he's asking you. This woman said, oh, he never set that boundary, or he never made it clear. He asked you 1,000,000 times on the phone. And every time he asked you, even in him being enraged, it still did not force you to tell him what the situation was. That's stupid. I'm sorry. That's very dumb.
However they want to have it. What kind of narcissistic you on trying to dictate somebody else's conversation?
Now he's a narcissist. Like, I don't understand. This man was in the hospital with you with your contractions when you could have gone into labor the day before. You guys, he was the love of your life. You moved out there to go live with him. You guys were having conversations the entire day about work and stuff like that. And you told him you need to talk to him. And all of a sudden, because, he didn't beat to your drum, he's all of a sudden a narcissist. Who taught people this word? Can somebody tell me, like, whoever taught people the word narcissist, I think that they should have went back and taught them the definition of what that actually means. Because the person who would be exuding narcissistic tendencies within this equation, in my personal opinion, would not be this man.
I wanted to have an uninterrupted conversation. When he is at work, he is very busy. He has employees that come up to him, ask him all types of questions, even when he steps away, when he tries to step away. And if he steps away too far, he loses service sometimes. So if you can't wait 30 minutes to have a conversation in the house, then that's a problem.
It's so easy. It's so easy. And, Lauryn Hill said it best. It could all be so simple, but you rather make it hard. A lot of women make situations very hard. It could be very simple. The easiest thing in this situation is just to say, he's asking what the situation was, and you say, no, it's just about this situation. But I'll go into detail when we get home. That's so easy. Very simple. The same way you're communicating to us, people who literally don't matter in the equation of your baby and your life, the same way you're communicating this to somebody who randomly commented on your post, you could have said that to your spouse. Well, people are going to be coming up to you and, people are going to be interrupting the conversation. I don't want to deal with the interrupted conversation. I'd rather talk to you face to face about it. But it has to do with this situation. So he could say, all right, cool. Yeah, no problem. And again, you're saying that you didn't want to have the conversation uninterrupted, but you were on the phone with him uninterrupted. You then said in the previous video that when you got home, he was already there. So which one is it?
And if you feel like calling somebody with an attitude and demanding they tell you right away is warranted, then that is also a problem. So when you tell me you want me to ease his mind, what you're telling me is that you wanted me to enable that type of behavior. Now, again, if this is something that he expressed to me beforehand, if we had the situation happen before and he told me that it gives him anxiety when I do things like that, then that's something I would have known, and that's something that I would not have done. Now, the other comments are also valid, because that type of behavior or that type of reaction is given very sketchy.
A lot of these women are having these men walk around like they're crazy and like something is wrong with them when ain't nothing wrong with them. I gotta be honest. Women are now trying to flip the script and make it seem like he's so hyperactive because he has something to hide about the situation, when this woman said, when he clearly said, what did you do? He said that. This man was pointing out things to your own behavior that you have done possibly previously that is making him act this way.
And that was not my initial thought, but also I don't put anything past anyone, because this is not the first time I have been blocked and he has disappeared for hours or sometimes won't even come home. Now, the purpose of my video was not to bash this man, but more for myself of an acceptance of what's to come. He definitely showed his ass, and now he has to live with the consequences of the decisions that he has made. He has been great up until this point. He has been there throughout my whole pregnancy, besides this last month. Now, I'm not the easiest person to deal with, especially during pregnancy, especially during the last month of pregnancy. But one thing I never did was remove his access to me, even in anger. Even now, I don't have him blocked. He did see my video and he did message me. He did have a few words. And when I did try to write back, he blocked me again. And for anybody that thinks that I'm taking this as a joke, I'm not.
You are taking it as a joke. You think it's funny You think the people on TikTok, in my opinion, are more important. You are still airing out his business, even though he already had a conversation with you about it. And you're not taking this man seriously. And again, in my opinion, the whole reason why you brought this to TikTok was for other women to validate you and your experience. And there is something else that I want to say. It might be a little controversial, but I wanted to be really honest. I genuinely believe that, pregnancy and sometimes pregnant hormones, or even just people hiding behind the guise of their own, pregnancy, whatever the case is genuinely the cause for the demise of a lot of relationships. And because she herself is saying, if you yourself, who is already, deflecting blame out of these situations, is saying how difficult that that you are within this situation. In the first video, you talk about how he's such a great guy. You guys have never had any problems. Now, all of a sudden, you're saying this last month has been something different. You talked about how the fact that you guys were having a whole conversation and he was there for you your entire pregnancy. You guys were having a conversation the entire day. There was no problem, and you brought and created a problem. You talked about the fact that you were possibly going into labor the day before, and he was there with you, rocking with you, by your side. To me, it seems like this man, it could be maybe an immature trait. You guys can correct me. I'm not sure, but I just think this is this man's way of processing emotions. I'm not going to provide you access to me when you are playing games and you are playing the fool. That's what it seems like to me. It seems like this man is like, I'm not playing your foolish game, so I don't even want to talk to you. I don't want you blowing up my phone 20 times when we were just on the phone and we could have had this conversation civilly. I'm not dealing with it. And again, a lot of women feel like they're supposed to be in the leadership position with a man and tell him how he has to do or what not to do, how to move, how not to move. And when he does not do those things accordingly, then they have a problem. She had the audacity to say that this man is going to have to deal with the repercussion of his own actions with this situation. You're the one that's going to be the single mother. You're the one that's going to have to handle the brunt of taking care of this child. That's going to be on you. I can almost guarantee that, after you have this child and time comes in, you're going to say, man, I should have never done that. Man, I was the one that was tripping. I don't think he's going to be the person that's saying that.
I've cried for days. I went through my emotional roller coaster. And now I'm in my phase of acceptance. And I do that with dark humor. So I'm happy. I am in good spirits. And I'm ready to tackle whatever I need to tackle on my
own. That's not what the definition of dark humor is. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. And again, I have these conversations purposely so that women can see a different perspective, a logical perspective, especially when these women are in spaces that they are actively ruining their own relationships by their own ego. And again, by getting support from other women who are also miserable, again, in their dysfunction, and have no problem adding you to the crew. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your opinion on this entire situation. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.